Does incest run in your family also? Is it considered normal to have relations with your father or with your mother? Well, if it is, welcome. My name is Sharon D. Perry, CEO and founder of What the Foundation Inc. Women's Ministry. And we believe in helping people to become whole and exposing those things that are in family from my personal life and my personal testimony to help anyone that is out there. So, without any further ado, welcome to my podcast. I've just started doing it now, and from my experience in my family, sometimes things are normalized that shouldn't be normalized. For example, very, very long time ago, before I was even born, I was rejected by my dad. He wanted me to be unalived, and my mom refused to do it, so he caused a lot of stress for my mom. I mean, brought in STIs or STDs, depending on what year you're born, you know it as STD, and if you're a new age person, you know it as STI. Well, he brought those type of things into the family, but that wasn't it. I did a video already about rejection, but for some reason my phone, which is an Apple device, and my computer, which is an Apple device, it shares everything, but it refused to share this video for my MacBook so I can upload it. So I cannot use my phone. So if this video is not sharp, it's because I'm using my MacBook and not my phone, because it is refusing to share my file, and it share every file, but it won't share that one single file. So the message has to get out, so I'm gonna use whatever device I have. Okay, so I was rejected by my dad. I'm gonna try to redo this video if I can't get it from the phone or from the cloud. It won't. Anyway, so long time ago, I was rejected by my dad. He didn't want me, and he made it very difficult. He spoke all types of curses over me. He wanted me unalive. However, not to the point where he did not also believe that it was normal to have incest in the family. So, my dad he's not anymore. I take care of my dad now, because he had a stroke. He was in the past. Very difficult dad. Very challenging. Very negative to me specifically. And he made life very difficult for me. I dropped out of college and everything because he said I would never amount to anything. So he did not want to do. I graduated from high school when I was 17 in the United States of America. I came from the islands, and he caused so much distress and trauma. I worked two jobs, one part-time, one full-time job. I used to sleep, I think, an hour and a half a day to pay for my mom's house that she lived in, which I lost, by the way, because my dad did something. That's another story. It's just trauma after trauma. Okay. So my dad believed that with girls, right, it is the dad's obligation to break them in. I know it sounds strange when I say it like that. Um, mm, what's another word I could say? Um, cause when I hear break them in, I'm thinking about training horses. I don't know why my mind goes there, but that's what I think about. Training horses, right? And but not that type of breaking, because you know when you train horses, you don't do SA. No, we do not do that. We do not do that. So he believed at the time that the father is supposed to introduce the young girls to adulthood, right? So when I was very young, um, not only did he cause a lot of trauma by rejecting me, speaking curses over me, making my life extremely difficult for me to, because he already said I would never amount to anything. So he made sure he made it difficult for in my life for me to get ahead, right, and everything. So when I became a teenager, I'm going to talk about my younger years later on, but I want to focus on this part. When I became a young, uh, it's not really preteen, yes, preteen, because preteen is around 11, 12. When I was a preteen, I noticed that my dad, um, he's the type that would want you to sit on his lap. He was the type that would give gifts to you, and the gifts were with an intention. The gifts were not because you're my child and I love you so much and I just want to adorn you with all these gifts, and you're so wonderful, and I wouldn't be such an exceptional father if you didn't come and made me an exceptional father and put think of others before I thought of myself. No. Mm-mm. No. Um, it was for an intention. It is to gain trust. It is to gain dependence, because he liked to have control. And my mom was very difficult to control, right? So he had my mom give up her whole lifestyle before so he could control her. He had my mom stop working because my mom wanted to open a bakery, because my mom was, she passed on, but my mom was an exceptional baker. I mean, coconut bread. I mean, bread. I mean, cakes. I mean, oh my goodness. The list goes on and on and on. And my mom was also a very, very good um, hairdresser. So my mom used to work under the table, and she's passed on now, so government can't do nothing about it. So my mom used to work underneath the table um, to get money to take care of her children. My mom has 6 kids, right? And he made my mom give up everything so he can have control, right? At that time. And with that control, he also wanted to introduce his female kids um, into adulthood. And I already explained what that meant. Um, it happened already in the family. Um, and if my dad found out that you were introduced into adulthood prior to him introducing you to adulthood, or while he was um, doing the SA to a child, um, and he found out that you had other relationships out there, um, it was a lot, a lot, a lot of negativity and a lot of um, trauma, right? And I made sure when I found this out, I was the type of child that would sit down and I would watch people, because people say a lot of things out of their mouth, like, oh, I do this, and oh, I do that. Oh, if you did this for me, I'll give you this, and da, da, da. People say a lot of stuff, and a lot of it is hot air. They don't back up what they say. They don't. Okay? So I, from since I was younger, I would spend time and I would just sit in a corner and watch people, because I need to know who you really are. My thing was studying and analyzing people from since I was extremely young. I think 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, my whole life. My whole life. That's the type of person I am. So, and when I found this out, and it's not only my dad, it also runs in other parts of my family, and I'm purposely not calling names because so many people are still alive, and my dad is still alive, even though my mom has passed on. And it sounds weird, but I know a lot of people out there miss their moms, right? Even though I miss my mom greatly and I wish my mom was still here, it's strange because I am so happy my mom passed on. My mom got saved, accepted Jesus Christ as her Lord and Savior, and she went from abusive dad who tried to SA her, right, into a abusive marriage. I mean, it was just traumas from since she was I trauma, trauma, and she saw trauma. She saw her mom getting kicked with boots